Hey, and welcome back to the next episode of the Right Hand Drive Guys podcast, the podcast for guys who like right hand drives. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo.
And here we are, and we are going to go ahead and just continue our tour of the guests, right? Like we've just been hitting the guests left and right, really interesting people. Obviously, Tom Yefia, cool. Anthony from the Super Registry, that was really sweet to kind of hear just how he got an idea and, like, unlike a lot of people, actually followed through.
Yeah, ran with it.
Yeah, just ran with it and still is. And so that was super inspiring. And
Super inspiring, huh?
Supra inspiring. So we're like, all right, what we need to do is continue that. And we've been meaning to get HDWERKS, who is a shop out of Florida. We've been meaning to get them on, but things have just kept going. Finally, they came up on the list, and we're like, hey, boys, let's do this. We love Florida people. We clearly have them on here a lot.
Yeah, we do.
You know, a lot of Florida people have been in it for a long time. So I'm interested to see what HDWERKS has to say and what their philosophy is on how they build Skylines compared to some of the previous guests that we've had.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of different ways to skin a cat, right? So
yeah,
these guys have their own process.
I've never skinned a cat. Like, literally never skinned a cat. Like, I don't know if that's
There's
on
so many
my
ways,
radar.
though. I mean, dude, if you were to go to skin a cat right now, how would you do it?
All right, this is episode 136 with HDWERKS. All right, and we're back with Peter from HDWERKS. What's up, man?
How are you guys? Nice to have you on today. Nice to have me on today. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Dang, it's your podcast already, man? We just met. Slow it down. No, for sure, man. I mean, I think it's kind of a trend for us to have, I guess, you know, what they call you as a Floridian. We really like the Florida guys.
Yeah.
They're just so down to earth and kind of chill that we were like, we got to get these guys on here.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm a transplant, but I've been here for a long time. I consider myself a Floridian at this point. So.
And so, okay, cool. So HDWERKS, clearly a shop, but where? Where are you guys located?
So we're builders out of South Florida. We're basically like an hour north of Miami and like an hour south of like Jupiter. So kind of, I placed ourselves on purpose, like smack in the middle, so I could at least grab from both sides at some point when we, as we kind of grew the business and stuff like that. I didn't want to be in Miami because in Miami, you'll only get Miami guys, right? And if you're way up north, you only get this. And I can even reach to Orlando. It's not like a big deal to grab Orlando guys or, up north. Even now, it's even further than that. But at least when we were starting, that was the plan, to be in the middle.
That makes sense. And so what year was it that, you decided like, hey, I'm just going to take a leap and make this awesome shop?
Man, so as HDWERKS, as what that was, we started in like late 2014. So I don't know the exact date, but I can definitely celebrate a 10-year anniversary, which is like really freaking cool. I think that's a big milestone. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's huge.
A lot of years of ramen and et cetera. But we got to the point we're at now, and I'm very proud of us and our team, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds with all this stuff. So we're very excited.
Dude, congrats on that. That 10 years is like, that is a big deal. No matter what you're doing, whether it's a job, whether it's marriage, whether it's owning something, like 10 years is a long time.
Yeah, especially with performance shops, because I feel like the turnover rate on some performance shops, especially in a place like Florida where there's a lot of competition, is super high. So 10 years, hell yeah, that's dope.
And it's rough, man. It's cutthroat. It is absolutely cutthroat. I've seen everybody come and go, or they'll blip and then they'll come back. We've been very underground on purpose for a long time, just to kind of like slowly build ourselves and get a nice solid foundation. And there's everybody. It's a weird vibe down here because there's a lot of money down here, but that also breeds like kind of stupidity at the same time. Don't take that the wrong ways, but more money than sense, So people just, we're in it for the long haul. So we're proud to be what we are today.
And so, what's the deal with you, man? Like, how does how does Peter go from, where you started to even wanting to do something like this? Like, what was the inspiration behind having a shop like this?
So I had two passions in my life, right? There's a little small autobiography. Okay. So I love music, right? And I love cars, and I love them equally, right? With like equal amount of passion, right? People don't know that about me, that I have the music portion, but I loved them so much, and I was very into that. Like when I was younger, I did touring and et cetera, and I was very involved in. But it wasn't consistent, right? So I had always, when I was younger, worked for shops and did this and that and the other thing, to a point where I was in it for 10 years. I'm old, dude. I'm an old man at this point. like I had a whole life before this life. So we I had a lot of experience there, and when you're like a perfectionist, a purist, or whatever you are, whatever your passion is, whether it's music, whether it's cars, you love it so much and you want to do it so much that it just becomes like, move out of my way, move out of my way, move out of my way. Like, I want to do it better. I have my own ways. Like I feel so confident in doing it. You get to a point, you're like, F it, like, let's go. And I worked for some local people down here, and I just wasn't having it, man. And we just ended up opening a shop. And again, I ate ramen for a lot of years, bro. Like, I didn't know how I was gonna make ends meet, and I did it, like seat of the pants. There was no plan B, and I bet you if I had a plan B, you wouldn't be talking to me today. 100%.
Makes sense. And sometimes I feel like, what you're describing, eating the ramen and stuff, and people can look at it like, oh, whoa, that's where he had to be at. Well, dude, that was probably some of the better days, just in the sense of, that come up is always so awesome. And sometimes you don't realize it until long afterwards.
You can't buy it. You can't, you have to earn that. That's a grind, bro. You gotta really earn that. You got to earn your stripes, and you got to get your dick kicked in. And like, that's just the way it is, man. Like, to really, really grind it out like that. And shout out to my wife too. She saw me go from, we eat ramen together, like, till today, and still, and still today, it's hit and miss sometimes too. Like, don't make no mistake. I am no, like, we haven't like made it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I support a life for my family, but I'm not retiring tomorrow anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like, I still work very hard, very, very hard. So.
And honestly, that is I would say the general consensus between all of the shops that we've had on is pretty much like, yes, maybe, on Instagram, it looks, you would think this because I'm showing you my work, but realistically, like, we're grinding over here, including the owner, to make all of this churn out.
Dude, I'm in the shop every day. You think I'm like in the office, like doing invoices and stuff and collecting people's money? Dog, I'm in every day with my guys next to them every single day, grinding that shit out and helping them pull motors and helping them build stuff, and like whatever it is, from my resto stuff to my motor guys, like whatever it is, like they need help. I'm the bitch as the owner. Like, I'm the bitch, dude. I'm cleaning the bathrooms because we don't have time to, like, to do that type of stuff, So. But I'm proud to do it. I'm proud to support my guys, like 100%, bro. So.
Yeah, that's a good leader right there. A good leader can do anything from the invoicing down to cleaning the toilet, right? Because that's just what needs to be done. So it sounds like your guys got a good dude in front of them for sure.
I struggle with being a leader and being a shop owner. And being a good boss, I struggle with that, and that's some of the biggest things that shop owners kind of miss. It's very egotistical, especially like when it's like swaggy stuff that you're building. And it's like like everybody's like swinging their D around, and it's really hard to be a good leader and just be like true and like really help your guys and like give them time off, dude. We don't work Saturdays and Sundays. I'm off at 4:00. I don't work late. I don't care what customers got X going on. I don't care. At the end of the day, our shit is going to be right, and that's it, period. And my guys are going to go home, and they're going to have a good salary, and everybody's going to be happy. Like as much as humanly possible. Like, I'm not 16 anymore. I'm not 18. I'm not pulling trays down in my fucking garage. Like, it's not happening, man. Like, I love those days. Don't get me wrong, right? But like, right. I'm not doing that anymore, dude. You know what I mean? We put out good work, and we're very proud of it.
Oh yeah. So, what do you guys actually specialize in nowadays?
Good question. I'm a builder, right? At the end of the day, right? I don't care what it is. Like, realistically, am I good at the R chassis stuff? Yeah. Am I good at Anything else you put in front of me? Yeah, probably. I'm going to put the same passion into it. But do I love it the same way I love like the JDM stuff? No. Like I'm a Mitsu guy. I came from Evos and DSMs, and man, I loved that shit when I was younger, man. I loved it, bro. Like we were hooning when we were younger, and we were out doing stuff. Like, man, there's nothing replaces those days with my boys back in the day. Like nothing will replace that. And it just evolved into something where you're just like, man, I love this so much. I want to do it every day. And there's some days I don't, for sure, like 100%. But
right.
I don't ever want to do it any other way. So we just started building the cars that we wanted our way, and we just really fell in love with the R chassis over the years. And I think we're really freaking good at it. Not to toot my own horn, I mean, but again, like everybody like does it their own way, and there's no right or wrong. We have a little bit of a blend, like of things. Like my neighbors up north, they build their stuff a certain way. Tommy builds stuff a certain way. Like I kind of like, again, there's no like right or wrong, man. Like I kind of like to like blend modern and old, and like if it looks good, cool. But like if its performance sucks, like I'm not going to use it. Like perfect example, HKS blow up valve. Okay, how old is that design?
Dude, so old.
Yeah, so they made their money on that one.
How old is that shit? Okay, they definitely made they ROI that thing 100%. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's in my personal opinion. Okay, this is probably not fun for everybody. I think it's dog shit. I think it sounds like crap, and I don't think it works good. So like, and it's in a monstrosity to install. It doesn't work good, right? So you like, it just, I don't know. It's like whatever. Has a dumb, like even down to the vacuum line that you put on it.
Yeah.
You know for a fact there's no knurl on the end of it, right?
Right.
So how's that going to stay? Right? Just like dumb shit like that. Right. Even that, I can go pull it off.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, so I have to think when I build these cars, I have to think of everything freaking possible that could go wrong, right? Like if the vacuum line, like, because these customers like don't necessarily know how to fix or diagnose this stuff. So I got to be ahead of it. I got to be ahead of like, that's not a good designer. I got to like dummy proof everything. It's like baby proofing a car for an adult. Like
it makes sense.
That product example is like something I wouldn't use. Like, is a tile blow valve old? Yeah, but it works.
Yeah,
it's good. I can put AN lines on it. I can put vacuum lines on it. It's modular. It's easy to install. I can change the springs easy. Like, there's a million things that are positive about it. It's a blow valve. It's not magical technology. It's a spring and fucking that's it. Like,
right.
like it works good, right? It works good. So we like to use it. So if I know something works good for my cars that I build, guess what? It's going to go in the car, right? And that theory is with everything that we do. From motor to brake suspension. I mean, literally all the way down the line.
Nice. So as HDWERKS, what is your recipe in that sense? Like if someone comes in with an R34 GTR with an RB26 and they want to refresh, with a little more horsepower, what are they looking at as far as like engine upgrades and stuff like that with you guys?
Another great question. So let's say you came to me, you're like, hey man, I bought a 34 last week. What do? I know nothing about this platform, right? They're as naive as like, what oil do I put in this thing, right? Okay, which is a lot of consumers, man. They love them. I get more money than sense. Again, like they have no clue to work on it. So what do they? Oil change R34. Like
literally.
Like they start there. Yeah, literally. So I get a lot of phone calls like that, which is fine. That's what I positioned myself to do. So to dial it back a little bit, my sweet spot is a streetable 600 to 800 horsepower car.
Wow.
Not something that is a crazy drag build. I personally don't love drag racing like some people do. Okay. But that's, again, this falls back on what I like, right? And how I like to build cars.
Right.
But I love something that starts like a Civic. I tell this to my customers all the time. It needs to start like a Civic, drive like a Civic, and you don't have to think about driving it. It needs to be natural, right? I don't want it to be any different than when you got that stock 34, 32, whatever it is, and it's bone stock, makes 250 horsepower in it. I want it to drive like that, but like turned up, right? And like unleashed a little bit, So our sweet spot is head package, G35 900, R-Tech stuff for the hot side. I get rid of the twins 99% of the time, unless we want to keep it a little bit more like OEM plus, and we want to do like HKSs or Garrett's or whatever it is. We're working on our own versions of the twins too, but and then Haltech Suite, we have our own fuel system that I will only use, which is a Frenchie's hat. We do aluminum lines underneath the car, PTFE, everything. Like, again, dummy proof, bro. Like 100% dummy proof. Like, because a lot of the cars get shipped, a lot of the cars like are home, but like I don't want the problems. I don't want the phone calls, right? I'm not the cheapest guy because I use really high quality products, and I can't unravel how much that shit costs, and I can't
Right.
unravel how much time that shit costs. So, um, that's kind of the sweet spot, though. 6 to 800 horsepower. If you want to go a little bit more nutty, I'll turn it up a little bit. We can do a brace and PRP stuff. And again, PRP we use all the time for literally everything, anything like trigger wise or ignition wise. Any of that whole suite always goes in the car. Same thing with Haltech. Literally every piece I can put in the car, whether it's a screen or the keypad or whatever it is, we put it in the car because it works and it's easy. We don't have to spend time reinventing the wheel to make it work for the customer, and they can understand it. It's at least dummy proof enough where Joe Blow can like send me logs and stuff. So
Yeah, which is huge. Like, and I'm sure, like you said, you're not just working out of like, the east coast of Florida anymore. You're getting cars coming in from up north. People
all
are,
over.
yeah, I'm sure you've, yeah, I can only imagine. And so, right, nobody, whether it's you or the customer, wants to either make or receive that phone call, right? Like nobody wants to
Correct.
call and be like, oh, this isn't working, or it's not running, or it's in, safe mode or whatever it may be. And so to the point where you're saying making it simple, like, the keep it simple stupid thing, that's
Yeah.
actually the best thing you can do, when it comes to a situation like this where you're working with people 2,000 miles away.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want them to have the most enjoyable experience like possible, because like it's about the sound and the feel and like how the car, the R chassis, especially in the motor and the sounds that it makes are just, some cars do it. Like for me, this is like an unpopular opinion. B58s sound like ass. Like it's like one of the worst sounding motors on the planet. But you get like the RB, man, like with the right exhaust and the right manifold, the right thing, man, it's just
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it
does.
just
it sings.
magical. And I want that, like the feeling that, I mean, it could give goosebumps right now, just thinking about it. And like, I want that feeling to like transpose into people, man. You know what I mean? And that's why you buy these cars, that passion of I don't want the phone calls of, man, I'm bummed out on the side of the road. My something happened. I don't want that, man. That's the last thing I want. Obviously, we'll take care of whatever we can and fix whatever we can, but the time goes into engineering all of those little finite details, those thankless hours of little dumb shit that nobody ever thinks of, or I couldn't even write a line item in a bill for you to even like say like that's what we did. But it's all that stuff that culminates into the end product that we give people. That's the biggest thing that I'm proud of, is all the little shit that adds up to the end result.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that. It's all the tiny touches that make that like superb vehicle in the end. And
Yeah.
so, okay, that's cool. Motor, like that's cool. Like, what type of guy are you when it comes to like the aesthetics of the car, like exterior wise? Like, what do you like?
If I'm building a 33, if I have my choice and stuff, I'm not a body kit guy. You'd have to fight me to the death to cut up your quarters in the car, like to the
Mm-hmm.
death. It's not going to happen unless the car's already crashed or something like that. I'm not putting a $3,000 body kit on a $60,000 car for your $4,000 wheels. Ain't
Yeah,
happening. Not in my shop.
that
Ain't
makes
happening.
sense.
Right? So, because you can't go backwards. I don't give a shit. Like if perfect, like if last 2 years ago, I'm not gonna throw my wife under the bus a little bit here, but like she drove my Golf R for years, right? And so I had a Golf R. I love that car, fantastic car, like totally opposite platform, but a great car. Um, she sideswiped it at the gas station a little bit on the quarter, and I'm so nuts, like I'll get rid of the car. I don't want any quarter damage. I don't want anybody welding on it. I don't want anybody like nuts. So a little dumbed down version of that is like in my builds and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like I want it as original as possible, rust free as possible. But I love the $400 look on a 33. Love
Mm-hmm.
it. I think that's pretty much perfect. It's got to be OEM parts, right? So however we got to source that magically sometimes is a huge battle.
I would say, man.
Battle. Yeah, we've done a handful of them. I have two in the shop right now that we're doing, but it's really difficult, man. So sometimes we source stuff, and sometimes our customers like have better pull than I do, which is fine. I don't care. Like I'm not like on the internet every day, like searching for
Yeah.
a dude in Japan, like a random room of parts. But that's my favorite look on a 33. Again, unpopular opinion. I don't love Z-tune fenders, and I love an S-tune front bumper on a 34.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Z-tune stuff's too much, like personally.
Yep.
I don't love the over flares like the on the 34, but like on some applications, like we did a gray car last year. Like I fought the customer like tooth and nail. I was like, I don't want to fucking do it, man. I don't want to do it. And I did them, and they looked good. I couldn't be mad. Yeah, the LMGT4s and 19s on a 34 with the flares, and looked really good with an S-tune front bumper, man. I don't know. It checked the marks. I hate the wing risers. I think it's tacky as hell.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be the right stuff, man. You got to like these little nuanced things that like add up to the perfect picture on every one of these platforms makes a huge difference. So if you start mixing and matching stuff that doesn't make sense, like keep it simple, man. Like what wheels look good? LMGT4s. Okay. What wheels look good on a 33? LMGT2s or ones. Okay. Like there you go. Like or TEs. Like why screw with it, man? Like I know everybody does it, but I don't give a shit. It looks good.
Right.
Like it looks real good.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. If you like it, right? If it's your car and you like it, then who cares if everybody else has it, because that's what you like. I mean, because you have similar taste to somebody else, there's nothing wrong with that.
And it fits the form. It fits the thing. There's like a handful of wheels that you can do. And they're all like Japanese based, you know, like right-hand drive-esque wheels. You know what I mean? What else? Interior wise, kind of like same thing. Like if you want to put seats in the car, like I'll fight you to the death to put Brom seats in the car. Like it's not happening. Like, sorry, Brom, but it ain't happening. Like,
those don't belong anywhere near those cars.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But like, you know, there's a guy in Malaysia used racing parts. I bought probably 10 sets, 12 sets of seats off of him, and they're authentic, period correct seats that are supposed to be in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And you put them in, you're like, yeah, that's it, man, 100%. Because those were in it at that time. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to put a brand new Recaro in. It looks like a Porsche seat in a 30-year-old car. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So like, use your head when you're putting this stuff together, guys. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like where my vibe is with. And that's top to bottom. You know, like the whole thing. Suspension, we only do Ohlins. I won't put anything else on the car unless it's like the top tier HKS stuff, which is like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, Ohlins all the way, white line stuff. It's like a package, man. I chuck them in the cars. DVA rotors, EBC pads, Goodrich lines every single time. I just don't mess with it. I know it works. Or R35 stuff if you want to have a bigger brake package. I'm not putting endless stuff on there because tell me where you get endless pads.
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, not here.
Okay, you going to wait for that? You can wait 6 months to get a set of pads? Okay, right. R35 stuff you can get off the shelf. R33 stuff is a BMW pad. You can get it off the shelf.
Oh,
all this stuff is meant to be serviceable, bro, and meant to like make the experience good. So like if you got to do something in your garage, which I want you to do, you can do it. You don't have to be like a nerd to go on the internet and like find this weird shit and obscure like whatever. Like just get the parts, dog, and get back on the road. You know, like it's not a big deal. Don't make it a big problem.
Right.
You know, like make it easy for yourself. You have $100,000 car sitting in your garage and you got to hang it up for 6 months because you can't get brakes.
That's true. That would be that would break my heart.
Yeah,
right.
It would.
But that's a lot of guys. The issue though is like getting these parts because they think it's like cooler. It's not, in my opinion. It's not. It's not cooler. It doesn't work any better. It's just a swag part. But then now you're adding a layer of bullshit to your car that like is now it's more difficult to use because you like have another layer of BS to deal with.
That makes sense. People think they're being like really unique and having these, you know, super rare parts, but they're super rare, you know, for whatever reason, but that means anything you need for it, you know, is also super rare. And that does make it a lot harder, like with what you're saying, whether it's brakes, you know, whether it's some of these engine parts, you know, you get these things and something, God forbid, goes wrong, and now you kind of got to scrap it because you can't even get a replacement for that.
Or go completely backwards and waste all your time and money and like go back to stock or get, you know, like unravel the whole shit because now you can't get any of it. Like another great example, like Gretty, the turbo kits, like with the T51 mod on them, like all that, like they sound cool and they look good. They're like a 30-year-old technology turbo. They spool super late. They're not fun to drive, right? And then like to get parts is like it's like you have to have like a customs clearance to like get half of this shit. Now I have direct access to like a lot of this stuff, including HKS, including Gretty and all this stuff. But even me, like I have 5-6 builds right now that are hung up because I'm waiting on stuff that's not in the warehouse. I'm just waiting. I have pallets of stuff waiting to come to me. I just can't get it because it's not, the orders aren't fulfilled. They're like, well, I'll get it to you in 4 months. I'm like, dude, I got customers that want this shit now. Now.
That's a crazy problem.
Yeah, so we try to mitigate that as much as humanly possible when we're choosing parts too. That's a big process, actually like putting the builds together and choosing the parts. Like I don't want to hang you up that long, man. I want you to have a good experience, not only with me, right, but with the car and the build. Sometimes this is a first time for many people to build a car. They're like,
That's
man,
true.
I wanted that in high school, and I have the money, and I'm adult. I'm gonna buy it. Where am I sending this car? And they've never built a car in their life with a shop.
Dang.
And a lot of times I get the third or fourth version of that somebody messed up on 3 or 4 times. And then I have to unravel it again. And I can't do anything that they did at all. So this
Wow.
dude's paying 3 or 4 times now to get it redone and redone and redone. And I can't, in good conscience, give you back a car that I didn't touch every inch of at that point.
Right.
Right. Because I'm playing hot potato. Right. So if I just went like this and I was like, yeah, it's cool, man, it runs today, and I didn't check something, right, and he has a bad day, then guess who looks like a dickhead?
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. And so do you feel like with people like that, let's just say he's already been put through the ringer, 3 times, whatever. Do you feel like he's not to say insecure, but like more insecure about it? Is he kind of more checking in with you, more worried about what you're doing than maybe a guy who kind of understands the flow and has had some successful builds?
They're not unrightfully, they're neurotic, and like they've been burning, and not only mentally but physically, like monetarily, like
Mm-hmm.
they built the car 3 times, dude, and it still ain't right. And I just got done berating all of their parts choices in the car. Like nothing personal, but I ain't using it. It's not happening. Like today, I have a really good customer of mine. He had a car built years and years ago, and it's in the shop right now, and it's in EMU black. And sorry to throw these guys under the bus. I ain't using it. I ain't using it. It's the most difficult software on the planet to use. I just won't use it. So like and some guys love that stuff. Like some guys like absolutely love that ECU, and it's just not me. So like I can't use it because it's literally going to take me 10 hours extra to like sift through their like magical software, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's just not happening. And like the IO doesn't make sense, the UI doesn't make sense. But that's again a reason why I select certain things for certain jobs. And so customers, when they bring that stuff to me, I got to be like, I'm sorry, dude. I know you spent money on that. Try to put it on Facebook. I don't know what to tell you. It's a very sad truth. And I deal with it a lot. I feel really bad. I feel like, like I can't charge this guy full price, which is bad business for me. But,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very fine line to skirt. You know what I mean? Like, dude that got burned and me charging him full tilt. So,
Yeah,
you know.
that is tough. And so yeah, that's what I feel like I also notice with a lot of you guys who have like the real passion, you shop owners. Like, of course you have to run your business, right? You can't like consistently lose money for your customers, but it seems like you guys really want this to work out for these guys that come in with these cars that are just horribly sorted and have these
Yeah.
parts that just never belonged on there. And that's really like a testament to, I feel like, our industry and culture, to where like you want to see this guy drive away happy as hell, and you don't want him back in the driveway, right? You
Yeah.
want him to go and just enjoy that thing for as long as he can. And I think that's really important, that we continue to do that type of thing instead of develop this, oh, okay, he's another paycheck. He's another deposit.
It would never, it would, I wouldn't be where I am if I had that attitude. And same thing with my crew, right? We would not be here today if we didn't give a shit. And unfortunately for me, as the owner, I would be a lot wealthier if I actually charged everybody what the hours that we had into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times what happens is, these projects take on a life of their own, and I warn people about it ahead of time. I'm like, listen, man, like I know we decided on X. If you change your mind in any way, the time's going to go like this, and the price is going to go like this. I'm just telling you right now, like, because we both get hyped, right? I hype him up, he hypes me up. I'm like, yeah, let's do this, and then like we don't even know a scheme half of the time, like a color coordination, like the green one we just put together, like that went off on the craziest tangent I've ever been on. Like, but at the end, I'm like, dude, like, wow, look at this thing. And my text and we all stand back. We're like, dude, this is nasty. And we
That's
like
awesome.
never like imagined that. It's not like we wrote that up, but we didn't ship foos that on a pencil board. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's organic, man. It like these things just take on, and that's every fucking car that we build for some reason just takes on a life of its own. And I love that about what we do. Like this part of it, like that building part of it, that is like that's what gets me every time, bro. And like that 10 minutes of like piece when I washed the car for the last time, and we all look at it and we're like, damn, we killed it, bro. We killed it. Absolutely killed it. And nobody can say anything because we did kill it.
Yeah,
And we
that
just
feeling's got to be
the car do
amazing.
the talking.
Yeah, I mean, speaking
So
on that, man, like what in the past 10 years, that you've been operating, what is the build that, you're most proud of, and, the one that sticks out in your head the most at the end of the day when you're thinking about, the past builds? What's that one car that's just it?
it's not even like the fanciest car or the coolest car. It just had the most soul for some reason. I don't know why. We built one of the ones I did like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Jose's Silver 33. It's one of the first videos I did on YouTube. That car for some reason, and this is a stock block 600 horsepower car. That had all the right vibes surrounding that thing. I don't know why. It was the cars are very juju like. Um, they're very susceptible to BS. So like if a car is cranky, it's gonna mess with me until I deliver it. If the car is like happy and it had a good life for some reason, it's gonna let me win every single time for whatever reason. And that's every car is different. But that car, man, like we did S2s, G35 900, Haltech Suite, all-wheel drive control. And this was before it was a thing in the Haltech. We manually did it. We just made some tables and made it fun with the PD60. And man, I love that car. And he beats the living dog shit out of that thing. Like in Miami, hooning that thing. Like, and he does not hold back, man. He loves that car. And we love to see people drive it like that. He'll bring it back, and like when we first delivered it to him, we had done all the cosmetics. I had done the side skirts, repainted the hood, redid the headlights, like everything, like the whole bunch. It was beautiful. It's like immaculate. And this car came from Craft. Craft has usually traditionally some nice cars. They're not the cheapest, but they do have traditionally some nice quality cars. Had some nice parts in it. Had an ATS clutch. Had like some dude like definitely nerded out over the years. But he brought it back to me like a year or two after that, and it was destroyed. Like the front end of it looked like it was on the Autobahn, man. Like it was like, and I was like happy. I wasn't even mad. I was like, dude, you drive this car, like, and he's like, absolutely, man. Like he didn't care. Like, and that's the best part, man. And then he went on to buy another 34, and like, it's just been a fantastic relationship ever since. So it's not even so much about the car; it's like the experience with the car, with the client that like that's the coolest part. It's all the relationships that we get out of it. You know what I mean? Like F the cars, it's just like, I don't know, man. For me, it's like that's the coolest part. Getting the phone calls, man, I had the greatest day today with the car, and like we went hooning, and like I don't know, man. That's like the coolest. That's the coolest for me.
So when he brought the 33 back, was it still running good?
Yeah. It had like, a million exhaust leaks, and we actually had twins on it first. And we had twins on it first, and he would beat the snot out of it so hard he would blow the gaskets out of the main collectors into the turbos, like all the time. And I got tired of replacing them. I'm like, all right, sorry, we're just doing V-band stuff. I don't care. It's coming out of the car. Like, that was it. And then and that was it. That was the last time I touched the car. So
man, that's pretty cool. That's a testament to your build. That you said it was stock block, right?
Stock block.
Dang. I mean,
600 horsepower on the money.
Ripping for years on that.
Yeah, I did an N1 pump with billet gears and with a PRP backing plate. There's still an Instagram story of it on there with the purple plate on the back, and that's it, man. Like, and he holds no, like, he doesn't care like at all. He's like, cool, if it blows up, whatever. He just, like, it doesn't blow up. It's just like, it's one of those cars. But then, like, there's some that are super problematic and that don't want to some just don't want to drive. You know what I mean? And that's part of this culture is sifting through all of those problems and just kind of getting it right for the guy, because you got to come through for your customers. And that's why you call me, because I'm going to come through no matter what. If it takes me 6 extra months, I'm going to come through. Yeah, like it's just how it goes. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the guy to be, right? The guy that comes through, because that's the guy that everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't do advertising. I have yet to spend a stitch of money on that at all since day one.
Hell yeah.
We just do good work. I mean, that's, and I teach my guys this all the time. Like, leave nothing unturned. Like, don't give anybody an excuse to point at something, to look at something, to find something, to anything, whether it's an oil leak or a gasket, or literally anything. I don't give a shit if it's like front to back of the car. We literally paint mark everything. I've drilled it into them. Everything's marked, and just so that way, because we don't touch them a lot of times after the fact. Like, if I get it at some point though, and it's messed with, it wasn't me, dude. It was you. or
Right.
somebody. You had somebody
That's
else touch
true.
the car. You know what I mean? And it's not like a Spider-Man pointing fingers thing. It's just like, like I want to check my work, and we got a CYA like all the time, like 100% of the time. So we always just
Man.
make sure that our guys are always, top tier, and we want to give a customer a product that would come out of a dealership or like it rivals on, anybody's build. It doesn't matter. And the
Yeah.
drivers, they're not queens that go to a show and just park there. So
Yeah, which is huge, right? Because yeah, it's like you see these cars that get trailered there, trailered back, and they look beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm guilty of that, but they look beautiful.
Hey, at least
But
you drive yours on and off the trailer.
yeah, no, I do. I swear I
You're
do,
not one of
man. I
those.
do. But you really do admire, and I know that this is a huge cultural thing in Japan, because they really drive their cars. Like they're proud of those rock chips, man. Like they
Right.
like that's like huge to them. Like, oh dang, you actually drive,
It's
like
part of
you
the
drive
story
your
of it.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how Jose's car was. Like it looked like it was chipped. He was ruined. Like the whole front ruined, ruined. And I was like, yes. I
Yeah.
was so stoked for him.
Which, imagine all the memories he's created in that as opposed to
Yeah,
just letting it sit in the garage, right?
where nobody sees it, nobody points at it, nobody looks at it, nobody can hear it. Like I personally have gotten rid of all my cars just because I don't have time to enjoy them. Over the years, right? I just don't even have time to do it. So I enjoy my truck that starts every day, and maybe one day when I'll slow down, I'll buy something else and mess with it again. But I've had tons of cars. I mean, I've went through it. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to slow down and enjoy it. And I get my jollies off during the day working on other people's stuff, man.
Makes
I mean,
sense.
I get to work. I got to work on it all. I'm very very thankful. Like all the cool shit, top to bottom, left to right. So it's fun. It's very very fun.
So, what is like, because I'm up here in Maine, this guy, he was raised in Nashville, right? And
Oh, cool.
so, being in this like JDM culture since the early 2000s, late 90s, right? Florida was always like, man, like
Always.
always the spot. Like Florida was always the spot. And so my question to you is like, now in 2025, like is Florida still the spot? Like is the culture still alive down there?
Great question. So I'm a northern boy also. I love Maine. I grew up in the Northeast in PA most of my life,
Nice.
um, and so the car scene there was, as you know, I'm sure you're in your heated garage right now. Is a summertime only type of vibe, right?
Yeah, we get about 4 or 5 months and that's about it.
4 or 5
It's
months. More like weeks.
yeah, yeah. It's like 45 degrees and everybody's got their shorts on. They're like, let's party,
It's so true.
um, but down here, man, like, it's all the time. There's always a car meet every day of the week. Um, there's always like some event next week or something coming up. No matter whether it's in Palm Beach where I'm at or Broward or Miami or whatever it is. There's literally always something to do. Whether it's the supercar stuff or like mid-level stuff or like 370Z boys or like whatever your niche is, there's something to do for everybody all the time.
Damn.
There's plenty of hooning to do. There's plenty of street racing to do. There's plenty. I mean, whatever it is, man, whatever you're into. There's always some place to get in trouble, get arrested. 100%. Like
Dang.
100%.
We're missing out, dude.
Yeah.
I was racing this Prius the other day, dude. It got heated. It got heated. No, but that is like the dream, right? And I'm sure, as you know, being, from Pennsylvania, and if you were there during your younger years, and it's very few and far between, and it almost makes you more excited when you do see somebody else who's into what you're into, because you're not like jaded to it, but it's so few and far between, it's hard to stay motivated sometimes.
Yeah. When I grew up, it was all like I said, like we loved our DSMs back in the day. I had like a million gallon VR4s, and like it was turn the oil heater on in the garage and hang out and smoke cigarettes and like just hang out and mess with stuff all winter long, and and freeze your balls off in the garage, and then hopefully it runs good in the summertime, and and we were on AFCs, and like the computers weren't a thing, and like we had $13 to our name, and it was the best time of my life, man. Like 100%.
Hell yeah.
Like, that was like it was the best time, bro.
It
like,
really
there
was.
Nothing, really was, and that was like right in 2000. I remember when Fast and Furious came out. I remember going to the premiere, and I was in the Allentown, Bethlehem area, and just the whole freaking place. The movie theater was at the mall, and like it was the whole place, bro. Like packed, packed. I couldn't even get into the place. It was just like a meet. Like the whole shit was just a meet. That's all it was. It was the wildest time, man. Absolutely wildest time.
Crazy.
And I was in Pennsylvania.
Right.
I wasn't even down here yet. So and that really solidified it for me. And then my buddy had an S2000 in like 2001. We were putting turbo kits on it in his garage with the space heater, smoking cigarettes. It was like the greatest time, man. We blew that car up and top down 45 degrees outside. It was a magical time, man. So that's really what made me fall in love with cars as much as I did, was the hangs, the late night 3 a.m. hangs, and like going to 7-Eleven, like that type of stuff where your boy we got to get this done. I got work at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We're almost done. Like that type of shit.
Yeah. It's crazy how all of us went through that, I'm sure we each have stories of the same type of thing, working on it till 3:30, got to be to work at 6, whatever it may be. And those really were what made like our generation of this culture really fall in love with it. Like, sure, the movie was an accessory to those times, right? Like, we were already having those experiences and already really enjoying it. And the movie was like, whoa, like, this is a thing.
I was like, yep, that was it.
Yeah. And so, as much as people like to clown on, that franchise and how crazy it's gotten, you just look back to that first movie and kind of think back to where you were at when that came out. And it's like, wow, that was like a movie for us. I feel like,
100%. Yeah. I mean, even the movie that was in Florida and in Miami, like those were all real people in Miami at the time. Like all those extras, like on the street race shit, like that was actual people, like doing that. Like they were like, yo, just come over here for a while and park up. Like, because they didn't have extras. They had like 6 cars, dude. Like they didn't have like all those cars.
Those are just real dudes.
Yeah, real dudes, bro. And like when they all came out of the garage, that was real people. Like,
yeah, that's iconic.
Real shit that they put together. So I don't know. It's part of the passion, and it definitely solidified it for I think everybody at that time. I think I'm dating myself for sure, but whatever.
Well, hey man, what's in the future for HDWERKS? Where are you guys going?
I recently internally expanded a little bit. We did in the same space. I expanded, so now we have like a actual showroom / staging area. So we take all of our restored cars, right, that we've window out restored, and either they're waiting for the motor or waiting for the next step or whatever that may be in their process. And it's a half like a storage facility also. So if our local clients want to store their cars or they don't have a garage or they just want to like a nice secure place to store it, they're there. Our office has expanded. Excuse me. There's going to be like, we'll have actual showcases and stuff. I mean, we've just been pouring every last cent of what we had over the years into ourselves, just to kind of improve. And then our back shop, we bought a dyno. I bought more lifts. I bought put bathroom in. We're almost 8,000 square feet now, which is like crazy to think that I was working out of like a 2,000 square foot spot with 3 lifts at one point. So like
the come up is sick, man.
So surreal though. You don't realize it because you got your blinders on like this, and you're like, another bill, cool, another bill, and you don't really realize it, man. You just make ends meet and you make it happen. You look up and you're like, holy shit, like wow, and you don't even realize it, man.
We like did something here.
Yeah, we're somebody, and we weren't even like, I want to say we weren't trying, but we were trying our asses off. But like there was no intent to like be something. We just had so much passion. We're just like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And then there's trials and tribulations, and small business sucks, like for sure. It's the worst, 100%. But the 10-minute payoff, like I was saying, is like, I don't know, man. Some days it just makes it all worth it, 100%.
Yeah, so. I can only imagine, when the most recent bill drives out the door and heads down whatever Route 1A, whatever cool stuff you guys got down there. I can only imagine that feeling is like just awesome, right? Like boom, like another one. Like we can't lose here. You know, of course you can, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, we lose a lot. We don't broadcast that, but we lose a lot. But it's in the benefit of our customers. It's the hours I can't bill, and it's the things that we do that we want to do, and I don't care if you don't want to get billed for it. Like I'm going to do it anyway because that's like part of the passion for building the cars. Like, and UP Garages, him and I talk about this all the time. It's like we just invest ourselves into these cars
Mm-hmm.
because like we love them so much and we have so much passion for them. Like I don't care what like is on the invoice. Like I'm doing it because it's fucking cool, man. Like that would be sick in this thing, and like I don't give a shit. Whatever, if it costs me $1,000, okay, just put it in the car. Like I guess I want to do it. Like it's not even about the dude or I want to do it. You know, like. But for me, that's like advertising for me, right? Like they can't say like Pete did me so good, he gave me all this extra stuff, and except like I didn't really ask for it, but like he did that, and then like it exceeded my expectations like exponentially. Like, and it's hard for me to explain what I do for people and like our process, because like the conversation we're having now, I'm getting like so stoked. Like this is part of it, and I can't. In business, I have a really hard time. Like when people ask me what do I do, I'm like, well, I'm a builder. Like, okay, like what is that?
I need a house. Do you do that? Right?
Yeah, but like my wife says, like, I own a body shop. Like I do, but like it's more than that. Like I'm not really a restoration guy because that sounds like I work on 70 Chevelles.
Right.
Like, but I am a restoration guy, 100%. We make them better than from factory. Like
Dang.
there's nobody in the United States that I don't think makes them better than I do in my team. In my humble opinion, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we pour our hearts into these cars, and I think they're a really good modern version of a 30-year-old car. Kind of like Singer. Singer is the closest guy that I can say is doing something on a like crackhead level, which is something I aspire to. Um, that is taking a car that's 30, 40 years old and modernizing it, and it's his blend and the way he wants to do it, and like you could see it. I'm probably talking like the same way he does. Like if you watch his autobiography, and he has the same passion, but it's for Porsches, and I have the same passion for these types of cars, man. And it's the same thing. I don't like to build Broncos. Could I? Yeah, for sure. I could build you a sick Bronco. I don't want to.
Yeah,
Know?
me neither.
Yeah, exactly. I want to build something cool, man. So in my taste, so.
Man, this has been great, and and I think like we discussed off the podcast, like Aaron and I need to get down there, actually come to the shop, see builds in progress, and just really get into it, because I feel like as much as we could go here, we're only scratching the surface of what HDWERKS really is. And I think that we definitely want to make a plan to come down and see you, and just, man, like do this again, but in person and kind of a little more in depth while we're at the shop.
I would love that, man. And like my guys they're equally as passionate as I am. And we can definitely shoot the shit and bust each other's balls, and it's a good time, man. We have a lot of fun. It's very serious. We're at work, but we also have a lot of fun, So we would love to have you down there. We can hopefully there will be some running cars at that point. I can't promise anything. We work on about anywhere from like 20 to 30 cars at the same time, and they're usually in somewhere like some sort of build progress.
Damn.
So it really depends on like what's ready to start. Like right now we have like 2 cars that are ready to start. I finished an Evo this week. Every now and then I'll build an Evo. Like if it tickles my fancy, I'll build an Evo.
Mm-hmm.
So we finished one this week, and that literally me and my tech drove around for an hour. Like, man, we love this car. This thing is sick. It's like, and it's on the money because like we built it together. Like it's exactly what I wanted it to be, and it's on the money. So
Man, you can't beat that. A lot of people would say you're living the dream right now.
Seriously.
I'll trade you.
No, we all know, anybody that owns a small business knows exactly what you're dealing with, in a sense, trying to wear 6 different hats and follow your passion and still put out quality. That's not an easy feat, but to me it sounds like you guys have figured out that to an extent, right?
We have, man, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that we've made it this far, and the support of the community too, like all my vendors and all the people that have helped support us. Like Herman's always been a huge help to us, just in like moral support. Like, believe it or not, like a lot of us like don't know where to turn to. Like when you're having a hard day, dude. Like like a lot of people just don't talk about the mental health that goes into the stressors of owning a small business, especially a car shop, and especially the long hours, and especially the deadlines. That's why I've made boundaries on how we do business. But man, like we just don't have anybody to talk to sometimes. And I know it sounds a little like I don't know, cunty's the word, but like we just don't have anybody to talk to. So like we have to rely on each other a little bit. Us boys got to stick together a little bit. And like, hey man, I had a hard day, and you just talk it out, and you feel better when you get off the phone. And he's been a huge help to me and a great mentor. And all the other guys, UP, and like Roberto, and I mean, it's a great community of guys that like. If you're stuck on something, you have an idea, or like that's not going to work, or like because a lot of us think outside the box too. Like, and that's kind of where I am now. So, is this going to work? No, it's a dumb idea, dude. Don't do that. I fucked up on that last year. Don't do that. So it's a very tight knit community, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Any way I can.
Hell yeah, Peter. So okay. So if our listeners, if they want to find HDWERKS on the internet, where do they look?
Super easy. HDWERKS.net, HDWERKS on Instagram, HDWERKS on YouTube, and just spell it with an E. HDWERKS. You can't miss it. I try to make it as little letters as possible, and I just can't buy the .com. The guy will not sell it to me. I've been trying for 10 years. The bastard. I have every other domain on the planet, just not my .com.
Man, these domain hustlers are hard, dude. They don't play around, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're one to talk, huh?
It's like a rinky-dink media company that makes little like corporate videos in Pennsylvania somewhere. He won't sell it. He's a bastard. He won't do it.
Damn. Peter, all right, man. We appreciate you being on. Make sure you say hi to the boys for us. Tell them that we'll be down there. Hopefully, we'll bring you guys some lobster. Hopefully, that's our thing.
Oh, please, bro, please. There's actually lobster season here. My neighbor used to bring it to me all the time, so I can't wait to have some Maine lobster.
Yeah, totally different. This is different, man. I've been lobster fishing down in Miami, dude, and we got the claws up here. You know what I'm saying? The claws it's just a whole different thing.
I miss it.
So yeah, we'll come down. We'll make some plans to do that, and I know our listeners will be excited to hear the live version that we can do with you there. And I know we're excited to check out the shop. I mean, working on 20 cars at once or whatever it may be is no small feat, whether they're in different stages or not, man. So we're excited to see that.
I'd love to have you guys. If you have any questions, you can call me anytime, or advice or anything. I'd love to help you any way I can.
Hell yeah, Peter. Have a good night, brother.
You do, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Man, you're going to catch me moving to Florida pretty quick if we keep interviewing these dudes. I'm telling you that much right now. Florida. Man, I'm about to head down to Florida. No, man, I just love how rich the culture is. And I know Cali, of course, right? But now their regulations have stiffened up so heavily.
Dude, I feel like Florida has been I don't know. Florida's just because of the regulations and like
how willy-nilly it is.
And like how they've had S15s since 2003.
Right.
Stuff like that. The back doors with the DMV, all that stuff.
Yeah, whoever's on was putting out all those titles.
Dude, it just boosted their scene, and it just made it like that much better for that much longer. So now they're just like...
Right. It's like the norm now. It is. It's really cool, and it was real awesome of Peter to, come on and give us his time and just kind of discuss their philosophy on how they're doing things and the little bit of insight on the fact that at any night of the week in Florida you can do car stuff, which to guys like us is like mind-blowing, right? Like, yes, of course, back when we were in Nashville there was car stuff. But like their weather combined with all of what you just said, plus just like they're still in it, they're still in it. And so, it's really nice to talk to somebody who has that passion. You could see him visibly getting like worked up, like pumped, and it's like, dude, that's like what we need. Well, that's what we all need. Everybody listening to this is what you need, is that excitement.
Not gonna lie, I got a little worked up when he said endless brakes suck. My JDM fanboy inside me kind of cried a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw the vein popping out of your neck that always pops out when somebody pisses you off. Yeah, for
but
sure.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming from. I
Yeah.
definitely understand.
Sourcing parts is tough, and if you want to wait on a part instead of drive your car, then buy those brakes.
Right. He had a lot of very valid points.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what's
No love
great
lost here.
about the culture. Well, the culture on the level that we're on is like, dude, you can disagree with somebody and it's like totally cool.
Yeah.
Like maybe at the lower level that's an argument. At this level, it's respect. Like, okay, I see where he's coming from. I don't agree, but I still think that's a dope opinion.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
talk shit about it.
Guys, if you want to join our Facebook group, like we'd really love it if you did. It's RHD guys -JDM boys.
JDM boys.
Yeah, I mean we're just in there being idiots. You know, that's kind of like our thing. And but we'd love to have you along. You know, you laugh at us, do the little like react emoji that's like ha ha ha.
Yeah,
or,
do the
or
ha-ha,
wow.
or care.
Yes.
Do the care.
And you can also find us on Instagram and YouTube at RHDGUIS. But for episode 136 with Peter from HDWERKS, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.